All right. Thank you all for joining the call today. We have the most amazing Robyn on from Idaho Falls, Idaho, who is going to be, whoop, whoop. If you don't know where that is, you need to go visit. Very windy and cold and beautiful in the summer, right? But with that being said, this is a perfect topic for today. It's a brand new month, May 2nd. But she's going to be talking about mastering your monthly marketing plan, which if you put this into effect right now, I guarantee you will have a phenomenal month. So Robyn, if you don't mind telling us a little bit more about you and jumping right into your topic, that'd be awesome.
Okay. I don't know how much you said. Tell a little bit about me, just like snippet of my story or something.
Yeah, right. Tell us a little bit about your story and then just, who you are.
Okay, my name's Robyn Whitworth. I have 4 kids. And you guys, I was your typical skeptical, rude prospect. But my coach saw a leadership qualities in me. She saw the potential. And she didn't push me because she knew it had to be on my terms. And I was the one that she invited to a little shake and share at her house. Guys, my coach is Brigitte Linford. And she invited me to that like 2 weeks after she became a coach. And I went there with a bad attitude. I left early in front of everybody. And I didn't even like say goodbye or anything. I just left, right? Awesome prospect. And I was annoyed at her Facebook post, so I unfollowed her. And what I realized in hindsight was not only was I not educated about Shakeology, I just didn't know enough to make a good choice. But I wanted what she had. And it bothered me, so I turned it off. And we learned about that in personal development, about, how to, anyway. But it came down to the point where I had a health blog and people were reaching out to me. I was like emailing people like crazy because I had lost weight. And what was funny, you guys, is I didn't realize that the workout program that I bought on eBay was a Beachbody workout. So I ate a little bit of humble pie when I found out like all this stuff I was promoting was actually Beachbody. And it was awesome. But Brigitte never like pushed me or said anything like, "You'd be a great coach. Come on, you should do it." She just supported me. Like, even though I unfollowed her on Facebook, she must have had me in a potentials group or something, because like I would post about P90X or Chalene Extreme. Guys, I bought these on eBay. And she would be like, "Those programs are amazing. I'm so proud of you. Those are hard. I'm so inspired." And I was like, what? Anyway. And in the end, when I was ready, because I realized I was already promoting it, and I messaged her and said, I think I just need to learn more about this. Can you come to my house and spend some time? I have a whole page of questions. And she was like, okay. Anyway, that was 2 years. It took me 2 years, but now I'm one of her top builders. So I always tell myself, I'm like, 2 years into my business, I'm going to sign up somebody that's been watching me that's going to blow it out of the park. And it's actually coming true. So that's a little bit of my story. My whole health story is kind of a different, my why and all that, but that's how I became a coach. And just giving you guys hope that maybe some of those people you see like so much potential, if you'll just support them where they are, they will come back to you. So, okay. So this monthly marketing plan idea is something that took me like a year to wrap my brain around. I was at a retreat with Brigitte, and I don't know how many of you are familiar with the name Keisha Fitzgerald, but she is like system woman of the world. Like if there's a system for something, she will figure it out. And so at the retreat, I sat down with her and I'm like, "You keep talking about developing systems. What are you talking about? I don't even know what that means." And she's like, "Well, like the process you do something. What's the process you go through? That's your system. You document your system so that you can you duplicate them." And I was like, do I have a system? Do I do the same thing the same way all the time? Anyway, it took me a while to kind of digest that, because I am such a D personality that like I just do. And to like not think that other people can think of that process was something that I had to learn. I am that person that just goes, and I just think everyone else can just go too. Anyway. So documenting your process became something that was really annoying to me, but that's when my team started to grow. And so this monthly marketing plan, I heard about it, and those that went to New Leadership Conference know that Melanie Mitro talked about this. And before I get into the slides, I do have some slides to share. Do you guys understand? I assume you do because we're Star Diamonds, but the customer cycle, like raise your hand if you're like, yes, I know what that is. Like free customer, free group, they get in to be a coach member, then you present the opportunity. You know what I mean? You get the cycle of your prospects. Okay. When I did this training for Brigitte, she asked me to like start at the beginning and actually share that, how you bridge the gap between all of those. But I'm like, on this group, I don't think I'm going to have to do that. So I'm just going to go through the first couple of my slides for this. But just understand that the monthly marketing plan doesn't work. Like you won't get it and it won't help you if you don't understand that customer cycle. So let me go into here. Move this over. But I did want to share this. How I do bridge the gap between a free group and getting them into a challenge group, because I know that for me, like hearing how people script stuff is helpful for me. Again, probably because I'm that D personality that like, you know, I just go. And so sometimes I'm like, oh, that's a good idea to phrase it that way. But anyway, so here's my typical after like free group invite. It just says, Sarah, I'm so impressed with you in our 7-day group, changing food habits. This is for a free cleaning group. Changing food habits is not easy. I wish I could go through the internet and just high five everybody who takes this group on. I wanted to let you know I also coach Beachbody Health and Fitness groups monthly and give first dibs to my complimentary group participants to register for the upcoming group. I only allow 10 people in each monthly group. We dig deeper into health and fitness and integrate effective exercise and Shakeology as well for bigger lasting results. I am the run-on sentence queen, just so you guys know. I would love to have your energy in our next group for May. Would you like information on it? And I will tell you guys that 8 times out of 10, I get a yes to this message. So run-on sentence or not, people respond. Okay, so then I kind of go into share, you know, this, I've done this training for several teams, but I go into, you know, kind of that cycle, and then the importance of just getting a group of people. So planning your month, one of the things that has really, really stuck out to me since leadership and then hearing the top 10 panel on the cruise, and I think we've mentioned it on this call too sometime, but stay in phase 1. Amy Silverman, Melanie Mitro, Bonnie Ingle, some of our favorite people to follow, but she said, stay in phase 1, have a plan and work it month in and month out. If it works once, it'll work again. What I love is that she said, one bad month doesn't mean it didn't work. You just had a weird group of people. And I love that she said that, because I'm like, you know what? Sometimes I'll have a challenge group or a free group or, you know, something that like totally bombs, even though I use the exact same scripts or the exact same post, and I think, oh, I have to redo it. It must be losing its shine or something. But every time I do that, that's when I get a little bit frazzled, or when I get like freaking out that I'm creating this content. And you guys can agree that when you're creating content for a new group, that is probably the most stressful month you have, because you're like creating new content and doing all your other stuff. Once you get stuff that's completely, you duplicate all the time, it gets a lot smoother. But I had to remember that sometimes you do just have a group of people, for whatever random reason in the universe, just don't respond the same. But if it worked multiple times before, go back to it. If you had a killer free group that you did when you were a brand new coach, go do it again. So Melanie Mitro says, always have a monthly marketing plan. If you don't have a plan, you don't plan to succeed, right? We all heard that a million times. I use the same one every single month, and I have for the past 2 years. She does the exact same thing every single month. Do you guys see the leaderboard? She doesn't reach the exact same Success Club numbers or the exact same recruits every month. Some of hers, I mean, it goes up and down, but she's like, I still use it because it still works. Like if you're still reaching Success Club, then what you're doing is working. Bonnie Ingle says, you need a monthly plan. Then invite, and be yourself to fill the spots for the plan and execute. You reach Success Club and teach your coaches to reach Success Club, and you'll be a successful coach. That's all it is. I love Bonnie Ingles. She just, it's just like, there's no gray. It's just, this is what it is. You reach Success Club, you teach your coaches to reach Success Club, you'll be a successful coach. But you need a monthly plan. And she has a monthly plan. She shared that kind of with us at Leadership about how she helps that happen for her coaches. Okay, so this was part of Melanie Mitro's training on her monthly plan. And you can see that she put like what she does on her hours up here. Basically, she advertises for a challenge group the first 2 weeks of the month, and then she starts her challenge group on the third Monday of every single month. You can see that she front loads her week. I do the same thing because I like my weekends to be brain free with my family and husband and everything. That's maybe because she's like maybe the same personality I am. I don't know, but I love to front load my week. She starts a new Coach University the first of every month. And you can see why, because she advertises coaching the last 2 weeks of the month. So basically, she says that on her blog and on her Instagram and on her Facebook, everything she does for the first 2 weeks of the month, she talks about challenge groups. She talks about what she's doing. She documents, she puts out a bunch of new meal plans. She does more recipes. On her blog, it's all about what goes on in the challenge group. Before and after photos, how important those are, and like all of this stuff leading up to a challenge group, and she's inviting during that time. It's all about this challenge group that's beginning right here. And then she says, as soon as that third week hits and her challenge group starts, she flips a switch and starts talking about coaching. Coaching's helped my family in this way. I love coaching for this reason. Oh my gosh, I would never, sustain my health results if I wasn't coaching, whatever, those posts we make. And she does that for 2 weeks. And she's inviting for new coaches. And like her other challenge groups are ending during this time. So she's jumping into inviting them into coaching, and doing a lot of her coaching advertising. So on her blog, she's showing, her 5-day sneak peek series. She's, all that stuff. And it's not that she's trying to do it, once a week, and she's trying to do this thing at these certain times. She's just like 2 weeks of the month I'm doing this, 2 weeks of the month I'm doing this. I know Anita Myron has an excellent video on planning her month, and it actually looks really similar. She's just put when she does a little free group, to get more people in her circle. And then when she does her coach sneak peek, I think she does it like the third or fourth week or whatever, to bring in brand new coaches for her new coach training that starts on the first Monday of every month. So this might not be like news to you, but for whatever reason, I find a lot of coaches are not like, they're scrambling. They're just like, oh, I guess it's time for a new free group. And they wonder why they have a hard time hitting Success Club every month. And this goes back to when I realized, I'm like, okay, I need to reach Success Club. My coaches need to reach Success Club. Why aren't they reaching Success Club? Like, it was one of those aha moments, like, oh, they're just like randomly inviting for some random challenge group date whenever it was convenient for them. They weren't looking at a calendar and saying, am I holding a free group like a week before, 2 weeks before a challenge group starts, so that I have a brand new pool of people to pull from? Like, I'm constantly asking my coaches, now when is your free group, so that you have a group of people rolling over to invite to your challenge group, so that you reach Success Club before the end of the month. Because they were having like challenge groups start like it, the fourth Monday or like the first Monday of a month, but they weren't, they were just inviting and out of the blue, like shots in the dark. There was no process. There was no system. There was no plan. It was just like, oh yeah, that's when my challenge group's going to start. I'll probably do a free group the next week. I'm like, why would you do a free group the next week? Then all those people are hanging out. But they didn't understand that process in their brain, that the purpose of a free group was to lead in to the challenge group. This is my personal monthly marketing plan. And it's not official yet. Obviously, Brigida hasn't given me a shout out, but I am a Success Club legend this month. I know that Megan is also. But I was realizing, I'm like, how have I hit Success Club for 24 months? Like, and people on my team are starting to get there, But some of them are just, it's hit and miss. They're like, I don't know why I didn't reach Success Club. But then I'm like, well, what's your monthly marketing plan? And they're like, huh? So that's when I put all this together. I'm like, okay, I need to have a really concrete training about this and show them exactly what I'm doing. And I've done it a couple times over the years, but obviously you get new coaches, they haven't seen it. So this is what I do is the first week of a month or near the end of a month, I start advertising a free group. And your free groups should be something that has to do with you. Like Melanie Mitro, she's going to do like a 3-day group. It's usually like a 3-day fix or a 3-day mom walking water to the park. Like that's, something she would do. Part of my transformation and something I share all the time is how I learned how to eat right from going from being diagnosed pre-diabetic and not understanding all of that to now I do. So I find a lot of success with my free clean eating group. And so that's what I do most of the time. I think I'm going to do like a crock pot group this next month because I'm realizing how much I'm loving these crock pot recipes I'm finding, how much time they're saving. So anyway, make it something that, has to do with your followers, not just some great free group you found online, but something that matches your niche market. So I do that. And then my free group begins. And during the free group is when I start posting about my challenge group. I choose a theme, spring into fitness or, whatever it's going to be so that I can write a blog post that kind of talks about, if it's spring, you can talk about newness and new beginnings. And I used to not do themes very much, but I'm learning that when you have a theme, it makes it that much easier to create the content for it, like to make a blog post that goes along with it or anyway, so it just kind of helps you keep your stuff consistent on your page when you pick a theme. And I learned that from Melanie Mitro from a video I watched of hers. But anyway, so I advertise my challenge group and then I start my challenge group the third week of the month. And then I start advertising coaching and I do a sneak peek the last week of the month. And then I start a Coach Basic. So it's similar to Melanie's. It's just I put my free group in there. And it's similar to Anita Myron's, looks very similar. This is just the way it works. So a lot of times I've gotten Success Club points from the people from the free group joining the challenge group. And then from, just regular invites from whatever. But then this challenge group that ended, I'm talking about the coaching opportunity and they're joining as coaches and that gets you Success Club points. So there's 3 opportunities to get Success Club points. I mean, I know we all listened to the National Wake Up Call and she had excellent stuff to say there, but so that's kind of helped my team a lot to visualize what they need to have going on when, so that you get Success Club. It's like a no-brainer. A lot of times it can happen before the 20th of the month, and you're always adding coaches to your team. You've always got a challenge group going, and then with your free group, you always have new people to bring into your market. So, oh, I have that all written right here. Look at me. I'm so smart. And then like Tony Horton says, repeat, repeat, repeat. Okay. Like do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over until you get that down. It's so simple because then I can just look at my calendar and I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to be posting about this week? Oh yeah, it's my free group. It's the first week of the month. I'm posting about my free group this week and setting up my group. One of the things that helped me to execute this, because it looks all nice on your calendar board, but then you say, well, what about, you leave for 1 week on vacation, or how do you get those groups set up? And what if you have to push it back a day? Or anyway, so I talk about, this is my weekly schedule through Google Calendar. And I just wanted to point out that this is Monday. And on Monday from 12 to 2, I review my monthly marketing plan. I look at my calendar and I say, what's going on? What groups do I need to create today? So I'll create a challenge group or create the free group and get the image done and all that stuff so that I'm not like, holy crap, I have like 50 people ready for my free group. I got to hurry and set it up and add everybody in. No, the group will set up on Monday. I can add people in all week and it's not this stressful thing. I've got the link. I've got it, pinned to my favorites and it's already there, or an email group or whatever I'm doing. I have set that all up on Monday. I usually set up 2 groups on Monday or something, but it's helped me so much to have that planning time to plan out my week and say, oh, I'm going to make a post about this on Wednesday, instead of it just being so much like sitting down on my desk and taking 30 minutes to try to even get in the groove of what I'm doing. And then some challenger calls with the thing we have to call with coach relations, or my daughter comes in, or my toddler comes in, and stuff gets messed up and you get out of your groove. But if you have, like we say, work from a list, if you know what you're doing, you have that monthly marketing plan, it's as easy as glancing up at that calendar and being like, oh yeah, we're posting about coaching this week, and maybe it's just me being a mom of 4 and I'm busy and it's hard for my brain to go back and forth when I'm, doing stuff. But that is basically like what it is. And I can go back to any of these things and take questions, but it took me forever to kind of figure that stuff out. Did I stop share? Okay. And just
that was awesome, Robyn. Can I just say that real quick? That was awesome. Holy moly, keep going. Keep going.
Well, that's really all I had. Like, I didn't know how deep you guys wanted to go in or if you had questions, because it's kind of like once you look at it, you're like, duh, like, oh, and some of you maybe already have that. But I think it's adding that weekly, your list to actually execute that. If you guys have read the 12-week year, if you haven't read it, you better go get it. But if you've read the 12-week year, it helps you set up that weekly plan so that you can execute your monthly plan. Because most people are just not effective at their monthly plan because they haven't, it's like positioning yourself to win. Like, make it easy. Give yourself time on Mondays to plan it out. Help yourself out. If you're struggling, like, oh, I don't know what to post, I feel like I'm shooting darts in the dark. Then, you have some tools in your corner now. But anyway, does that help any of you guys? You're all just like staring like.
No, that was awesome. You all have about 10 minutes to ask some questions. So why don't we dive into that?
So it might be a little loud on my end. I'm sorry, but I have a question. When you have your blocks of, inviting to a challenge group or coaching opportunity, during those weeks, is that all you're focusing on? Because for me, I have a very similar marketing plan, but then I feel like if I don't talk about coaching for a week, then it's like people are going to miss it. So I mix coaching opportunity in with challenge group, but then I think it starts to confuse people on what I'm trying to focus on. So when you're doing your post, is it totally in line with just what you're focusing on for those weeks?
Honestly, I don't think I'm perfect at this, or I'd be like a 15-star diamond, right? But I do notice, just like what you said, I think you answered your own question. Like, I think that when you're really focused on this thing and you say it's the end of a challenge group, right? I don't know about you guys, but the last week of my challenge group, I talk about becoming a coach member and the discount. And if they are like following my page and they've been primed with all my coaching posts, and then I invite them about coaching, you see how that works? Like, they've been primed to be thinking about coaching and all this awesome stuff that's going on in my life. And then I invite them to be a coach member. It goes hand in hand. I think sometimes coaches get so excited to reach the universe that they're trying to reach everybody. Like you said, like, they're going to miss it. And I'm like, okay, what's Facebook's algorithm? 15% of your friends actually see your posts? Like, you know what I mean? It's the people that you're actually inviting that maybe are going back to your page and scrolling to see what you're actually talking about. So if you're asking all this stuff about coaching and they go back to your page and there's not like anything about coaching, but you have a coach sneak peek coming up that you really hope they get into, I would say, yeah, you should be posting about coaching. But obviously you can mix it. You could say, in my workout today, it's like, I'm so grateful to be a coach because it's been the ultimate accountability for me to stay up with my workouts. Like, and that can be a workout post mixed with, coaching. But I've had to learn to not try to reach the universe. I'm not trying to reach the masses. I'm trying to reach the people that are like me, because those are the people I can coach the best. And so I do find that when I'm more specific about coach posts and then I start inviting to my coach sneak peek, I get a lot more numbers in there because people are thinking about it.
Robyn, do you do 1 or 2 challenge groups a month?
I always do one, but I know that every coach I've ever talked to says sometimes they'll do 2. Like, if I just have enough, or I have enough rolling over from another group and it looks like it's going to get crazy, or I have a bunch of new coaches that want to co-coach, or they just need a challenge group, I will do 2. But generally it's like one with like newbie people and one that's like rollovers. Does that make sense? But it's not often that I do two. And if I do, I'm co-coaching with another coach, and it's kind of like a side thing. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, like you probably help your new coaches and run their groups with them.
Right. So like right now I think I'm in 3 challenge groups, but only one of them is like I'm the main, like it's a brand new group on the Challenge Tracker app and stuff like that. And then I'm in a group with one of my coaches, but she's a rock star. So it's on my list to check in there and post my stuff. And I have a challenger in there. You know what I mean? You guys know kind of how that goes. But personally, like me running a challenge group and like really advertising for 2 a month, I wouldn't say I do that often. Oh, did somebody ask a question in the chat? Do I have a slide showing the cycle of customers to coaches? Do you know what? I have this slide that I made a long time ago, and Brigitte really liked it. Maybe I'll share it with you really quick, just so you guys can, and I can share it in our group, you know, our Facebook group. My team really likes this image too. It's basically just like, you invite to a free group, you do an amazing free group. The last day of the free group, you invite them to another, you know, to have information on your upcoming group. Then you invite them to your fitness group, form them, rock the challenge group, and ask them if they're, you know, interested in coaching or getting a coach member account. I don't know if this is what you were looking for, but I can share all these slides in our group if you guys like them. But this training went through how to do an effective free group, because I've learned how to do them really effectively and get a lot of new people into them. So I can share this whole, you know, presentation if it helps you guys. But
I think that's exactly what she was asking. Is that what it was, Shannon? Yeah. Perfect. Yay. So time for maybe 2 more questions.
Robyn,
Or kudos.
quick question. Yeah. When you share your monthly marketing plan with your team, do you do it on a Google Doc, or do you like create it, like do you share it through Google Drive, or do you just create like a picture that they can take?
What do you mean share it with my team? I actually share that exact calendar that I showed you guys. You know what I mean? But monthly, the first Monday of every month in my team, I share a monthly team calendar that says when Robyn's challenge group starting here, new coach training starting here, Robyn's free group starts here, so that not only do they see what I'm doing, obviously that helps them, right? So is that what you mean? It's more like a list though. It's like, you know, May 2nd, new coach training starts, May, you know, 15th or whatever challenge group starts, you know, whatever it is. And that's in the photos album. They can see every month what I'm doing and when things are starting. So if I have a new coach, they know when my challenge group is starting.
Hey, buddy. Perfect.
Did that answer your question? Yeah. Who said that? Ashley? Was that Ashley? Oh, sorry, Megan. Was that you?
No, I was just going to say something else.
It was me. I don't know. Is my internet okay? Is it garbled? Can you hear me okay?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Thank you, Robyn. That was super awesome. I appreciate it. My question is for you, Britt, for qualification for Summit. If we're 2-star lifetime, then do we have to wake up the 23rd of June 2-star to be recognized, or do we have to still stick in this 6-week qualification starting on the 18th?
No, it's going to go off of your lifetime rank. So if you are a lifetime rank of 2-star diamond, you will be recognized.
As long as you wake up on June 23rd, correct? You still have to, don't you still have to? Because I'm shooting for 3 right now, but.
Okay, let me look this up. The Summit I have it right here, but I've been going off of the new recognition. It's great. Bonus. Hold on one second. I'll get your answer. Say it again.
Sure. I just didn't want to take up too much time on this call for it, but I was very
Let me get you an answer and I'll post it in the group.
Perfect.
No, you're great. You're great. Any last questions for Robyn? What a great call, girlfriend. I love the fact that you tied in NLC and what each of those top leaders said. That was absolutely amazing. But then also your slides are perfect. Love the fact that your calendar is spot on. You know what you're doing every single hour. I love the fact that you have playtime, family time, obviously your husband time. Love all of that. So absolutely, I know this is all such a work in progress, but if you continue with it and perfect it along the way, it's going to be absolutely amazing for you. So thank you so much for sharing. That was a great topic.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any last questions before we end this call? And then Ashley, I'll get you your question, okay? Thank you, ladies. Next week we have Daphne, who's going to be speaking on a live power hour, the top 9 things to do during your power hour. Right, girlfriend? Awesome. Okay, see you all next week. And if you need anything, please do not hesitate to reach out, okay? Talk to you soon. Thanks again, Robyn.
Yep.
Bye, hon.